And now.
That's the middle shot. He scores!
Flips it off to Wyatt Matthews. He's in! Eagles take the lead!
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Welcome to Sports Talk, the number one sports podcast in the Philadelphia area. Come on out here, Brodes. This episode of Sports Talk with Brodes is brought to you by Sports R Philly. Sports R Philly contains a wide variety of great blogs across the Philadelphia area. You can follow them on Twitter at Sports R Philly or check out their website, www.sportsrphilly.com.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Sports Talk with Brodes. It's been 5 days. I've been slacking. I like to go 3 times a week. I only went 2 times a week last week. I've been a little busy. Training camp is in session here for the hockey season, so I just kind of had to regroup and figure out my mojo on how this is going to work in season, but we will make it work. Let's kick it off. To follow me on Twitter, type in at sportsandbrodes, and you can follow me, and you will find out when my latest episodes drop, when my newest YouTube video drops. And if you haven't seen my new YouTube series, gotta go check it out. And call into the show using a voice recording app on your phone. Record yourself and send it to sportsandbrodes@gmail.com. So here we go. It's funny because you know me in the summer, if you listened, I wasn't very optimistic on my sports teams here in Philadelphia. But where are we now? We are sitting with a Sixers team who is very interesting. The Sixers, I'll say, I've been optimistic with. It's more the Flyers and the Eagles. We are sitting at a 5-1 Eagles team, coming off of a Panthers win in Carolina on a short week. They're the best team in the NFC. You have Atlanta losing home to teams like Buffalo, and then they lose last week to the Dolphins, which we will dive into the NFL schedule at some point into the episode. And then you have the Green Bay Packers, who lose Aaron Rodgers, season-ending injury. So who am I afraid of in the NFC? The answer is nobody. So look at us at 5-1, potentially winning the whole entire NFC, which means 2 words that I don't want to say. Let's start with S and B. But there's too much left in the season to go there. And the Flyers. The Flyers are playing amazing. They are 4-2 at the moment, and they really could be 5-1 if that Nashville game didn't go the way that it did with the challenging the call and the offsides. But they beat the Capitals. I know Holtby wasn't playing, but they beat the Caps 8-2. And then last night they win 5-1. 2-0 on their 5-game homestand. They play Nashville tomorrow night. But they look good. 13-3 in goals at home in our barn so far this year. I said that they looked like the 9th seed looking into the playoffs. I know it's early. We're 6 games in. And trust me, with last year and how it worked out with the 10-game winning streak, and the boys looking great. I know. Stretches will happen. There's going to be ups and downs and throughout this roller coaster ride. I get that. But they look good. And they look like they have the goaltending. Their goaltending looks good. I haven't said that before in 6 million years. I haven't said that in my lifetime as a Flyers fan at the age of 22. I haven't said that they had great goaltending. Unless talking about Bob, who we end up trading and then wins 2 Vezinas with Columbus. I don't even want to get there. Might give me a heart attack. The NBA kicked off last night. LeBron James drops 29, 16, and 9. Beats the Celtics. If you haven't seen, there was a insane, ugly 6 minutes in injury to Gordon Hayward. And they're saying it's a dislocated, fractured ankle. And that thing was crooked. The whole bench went crazy. The stadium went nuts. It was really ugly. You hate to see that guy put in all that work. Made a huge splash in free agency going to Boston, playing for a coach that he played for in college. And then 6 minutes into his debut there in Boston, for Boston, he gets injured like that, and LeBron went up to him. Everyone went up to him. It was a really ugly injury, and nobody wants to see that, regardless of if they're a competitor, a fan, not a fan of the Celtics. You just don't want to see somebody who puts that much work and effort into their profession for it to just have to be put on pause for a long time. I mean, I feel like he will be back by the end of the season, which is essentially the most important part, but 6 minutes into the regular season, that's absolutely tough. But the Celtics end up losing. They hold their own. They played well. It came down to the wire. Kyrie Irving off a rebound to win it, essentially, and short. LeBron and him end up doing their pregame ritual handshake right after that shot because LeBron defended him on the play. And Kyrie had a good game. But like I said, they came up short after the game in a postgame interview. LeBron said he was not conditioned enough. He was not in shape to his standard. So what's he do? 40-minute workout after the game. And this is on an ankle that isn't 100%. I wonder what the GM thinks of that. You gotta love it, right? I mean, it's LeBron. You let him do whatever he wants to do. But he looked good. His stat line looks the same at his age. 1 assist shy of a triple-double. I love that man. But after that, it was a nice doubleheader. You had the Warriors play the Rockets. And this is the Warriors ring ceremony. It's great that the NBA is back. It's so great. The Rockets win 122-121. KD hits a game winner, but the ball was still in his hands at the end of the game. Harden with 27, 10, and 6. And CP3 with only 4 points, but 11 assists and 8 rebounds. So the Warriors are 0-1. Looks like they're not going to do it this year. Draymond Green leaves the game with some sort of leg injury. I don't think it's anything serious. And then finally, we have the Sixers tonight at 7. I'm a little pissed off because my schedule for hockey is a 7 to 8 team workout. So I'm going to be rushing from the gym back home to catch my boys in blue play on the court. I haven't been able to see good basketball here in Philadelphia ever since my true fandom of 4 for 4. So this is so exciting. But Joel Embiid is upset because he's a put-on-minute restriction. Are we already here again? Are we doing this again? Come on. Let the man play. I can't do this. He got on Twitter beef with Hassan Whiteside on the Miami Heat after a preseason game. They were going back and forth. In the middle of the game, Joel Embiid looks at the Miami bench and said, someone else come out, because this man just can't guard me. And he brought that to Twitter, and they did their thing. So I can't wait for Miami Heat to come into town, or for us to go to Miami, because that's going to be hilarious. And then the last NBA news is Bobby Portis and Nikola, in their first practice, gets in a fist fight. And Nikola needs surgery. So who knows what's going to happen there. Obviously, the league is going to have to step in on this. I mean, he busted his face pretty good. The team's going to obviously get on this, so I don't understand the situation here. Apparently, they're both battling for a spot. I get that, but you're going to punch your teammate in the face? I battle for a spot every day. I'm not going to punch any of my teammates. I don't know. Stupid decisions. Just stupid decisions. And the MLB postseason is still going on. You have the Yankees who just don't go away. Now, I have notes for specific games, but since I haven't created an episode in a while, they're kind of out of date. So I'm just going to give the little rundown on what's been going on as of late. The Yankees just don't go away with Houston. They're up 2-0, Houston, going into Yankee Stadium. Last night, they blow it. It's now 2-2 tied. I mean, what's it going to take? And the Yankees get home for Game 5 because I forgot that it's 2-3-2, which I actually hate. I feel like that kind of gives an advantage to an away team because they have 3 games at home, and if you're the Yankees, you don't lose at home. You're 3 games up now. Well, not 3 games up, but you have 3 wins. So they play tonight at 5. And the Dodgers are just rolling through the Cubs here. They lead 3-0 in their series. I wanted to see a Dodgers-Houston finals. That's what I wanted to see. But now I'm scared that the Yankees might actually be able to pull this off. Which is kind of cool, but at the same time, no. Because I like Altuve, I like Springer, I like their whole entire lineup over there. Last game, the announcers were saying something wild about Gaddis. And he was homeless. And he went to get a hot dog and his balance showed a negative balance. A policeman let him get a free trip on a bus ride to get to where he needed to be. Some Irish guy gave him $10 for lunch. He got home to where he needed to be. He got a job as a janitor, found his way to junior college, played baseball there, drafted. How does that happen? I don't even understand how something like that even happens. It's crazy. You're telling me this homeless guy who had no money to buy a hot dog finds his way to a junior college and then gets drafted to the MLB and now he's on one of the best teams in the MLB? Just makes no sense. But good for him. You gotta respect it. You have to respect it. And a few games ago, there was a huge blocking the plate call. And that rule just needs to go. The catcher was playing a ball thrown from the outfield, which hopped. So he stuck his leg out to like kind of hockey goalie save it off the bounce. And as he did that, it blocked the plate. Air quotes. And the runner wasn't able to get to the plate, so they called him out. It was just ridiculous. And everyone who enjoys the sport of baseball said that something needs to be changed. Because technically, yes, he blocked the plate. The rule was he blocked the plate. But that's not the way the rule was supposed to be implemented into the sport. Which also, going back to the Nats-Cubs series, there was actually a play on first base that was pretty much the same way. The Cubs picked somebody off at first base on the Nats. Rizzo got him. Didn't get him initially. They challenged the play. And when he slid back into first base, his leg or hand popped up for like 0.1 second in the slowest motion you could possibly get, and that got him out. That's not what it was used for. The 0.0003 second slow-mo frame that you were supposed to get. That's just ridiculous. He was safe. His finger popped up for literally 0.01 of a second in the slowest motion you can get. And you're going to call him out. Like I said with the other play, technically, yeah, whatever. He was out. But that's not the way replay was supposed to be used for. So I don't like it. And I think the MLB needs to look at this over the offseason and figure out what they're going to do. Because the baseball fans are not happy with it. Now, it's weird to keep football here at the end. But we're going to do it because it was crazy football weekend. I kind of want to start with college because Clemson loses on Friday night to Syracuse. And not only that, the next game, Cal beats Washington State. Oh my goodness. It was Friday the 13th. How are they going to respond? Clemson, who now has one loss on the season. Here's the top 10 ranking. Starting at 10, Oklahoma State. 9, Oklahoma. 8, Miami. 7, Clemson. 6, Ohio State. 5, Wisco. And here is your playoffs at the moment. TCU, Georgia, Penn State, Bama. And Penn State has a huge game this upcoming weekend against Michigan. 7:30 start. Game of the week. So let's look at what happened last week as well. So that was Friday. You have West Virginia beating a 24-ranked Texas Tech team 46-35. LSU beats a 10-ranked Auburn. This LSU team is hit or miss every week, and I've said that before. You never know what you're going to get. You're going to get a Troy team that's going to come in and beat you, or you're going to beat a 10-ranked LSU team. But I respect it because, you know what, as crappy as their season has gone with some losses, they keep performing every, chance they can get. They go out there and they beat a big team, so they're not giving up. Oklahoma beats Texas. That's a huge win for them coming off the loss. Miami escapes a 1-point game against Georgia Tech. This Miami team literally escapes every week. But hey, you get the W. But it's just like the USC thing. They keep escaping. There's going to be a time where they're just not going to be able to escape. It's not going to happen. Alabama wins 41-9. USC escapes from Utah 28-27. And Arizona State beats Washington, number 5 in the country, 13-7 with a very boring game. But there were a lot of teams that fell. A lot of teams. Which is awesome to see because it means everyone's got a chance. And one of the things I don't like that happened with Clemson is Dabo Swinney, after the game, went into Syracuse's locker room and gave them all handshakes and congratulated them. Some people said, oh, that's very awesome, very respectful. But what I see is, hey, we are so much better than you that I'm going to come in here and give you a handshake and congratulate you. We are that much better than you that it was so awesome for you to beat us. Congratulations. But if I'm on Syracuse, I'm on the other side, I'm thinking, we thought we were going to beat you the whole time. We knew we could beat you. We knew the whole time we could beat you. So why are you coming in here congratulating us? We knew we could do this. That's how I see it. But that's enough with some college. Just ran through the scores for you. NFL. It was a big weekend. Sadly, I did not get a chance to sit back, relax, and watch football all day like I normally do on my Sundays because I had to go to the Ravens game and do a little fundraising for my trip to France with my hockey team. But I did catch the Ravens game, which was an overtime thriller with the Bears. I got to sit down around like the end of the third once we were done doing what we had to do. I caught the fourth. I caught overtime. It was an interesting game. The ending was definitely enjoyable. I watched the Ravens go downfield for Flacco to throw a pick six, like an 85-yard run after the interception. The whole stadium leaves. They get all pissed off. They're down 11, only to find themselves to kick a field goal, to run back a punt return, all in the fourth quarter, to get the 2-point conversion to tie the game. It was crazy. It was actually a really exciting fourth quarter. At the end of regulation, though, well, let's start with the field goal. When they were down 11, they obviously needed a field goal and a touchdown with the 2-point conversion. They had to waste a timeout with this field goal that they knew they were going to kick. So they wasted timeout. At this point, they only have one timeout. So they get their 3 points. They end up scoring their touchdown and getting the 2-point conversion. Then they had about 12 seconds left with no timeouts. And they're probably about around they're 40. They're 35, 40. They got to play. They have a chance. Instead of using the sidelines like any head coach would do, he throws a slant in the middle. They get it down. They don't have enough timeouts at this point. They've used their one timeout, so they have 0 timeouts. That timeout they burned could have totally helped them out in this situation. They got to run up to the line to spike it. They don't have enough time, and they were essentially in field goal position at this point after the slant up the middle to be able to win it in regulation. Came back to bite them because they end up losing in overtime. Now, I'm listening to Baltimore sports radio, sadly, sometimes on my short rides, and they are not happy with this head coach. They are pissed off with this team. Their head coach said it was the right play because their defense was hovering the sidelines. No, that's the wrong answer. You got to just man up and say, I made the wrong decision. But it was a really cool atmosphere. I've only been to Eagles games, so to go to the Ravens game, I mean, their fans were loud. It was a very close game. It was a very interesting game. There were a lot of big plays that were going on. You're talking about an 85-yard pick six, a punt return. There was some good energy in there, and I like their stadium. It seems very enclosed, so it gets loud. Like, for example, I feel like the Link kind of goes out in the bowl, but theirs kind of like hovers over a little bit. It's kind of cool. I've never seen a stadium like that, but yeah, it was very interesting. And then you get the Texans beating the Browns, and Deshaun Watson has another big day. What is new for that man? 3 touchdowns, 225 yards. The Browns could have had him. The Browns could have had Carson Wentz. I don't want to go there. Now, I've said this in the beginning, but Green Bay lost Aaron Rodgers and lose to the Vikings. But the loss doesn't mean much because you lose Aaron Rodgers. And his collarbone's hurt. Season-ending injury is what they have laid on the line here. And it's sad. I love Aaron Rodgers. But when it comes down to the NFC, and now that my team actually is involved with being able to actually win the NFC, it definitely helps out the Eagles. And I'm not afraid of anybody else. The Lions lose to the Saints. The Saints put up 52 points on the Lions' D. How does that happen? And let's go here to the Jets and Patriots. The Patriots win by a touchdown. There was a play in this game where a Jets player goes into the end zone, loses possession, but still, it's in his arms still. And in the vicinity of his arms. He kind of bobbles it, but it's still in his arms, and he comes down. And the refs call it. You need to see the play to kind of understand what I'm talking about, and you need to see the play to hear how ridiculous this call was. The referees call it a touchback because he lost possession and didn't land with possession. It makes no sense. He did. He landed with possession. He had the ball in his hands the whole entire time. He bobbled it slightly, but in his possession still. And they called it a touchback, no touchdown. And then the Patriots get the ball and win by 7? Come on, the Patriots escape another one. I want to see them lose and struggle. But that was a ridiculous call. The NFL has to do something about that. You have to go back and show these referees, get them in a meeting, and say, listen, this was the wrong call. Twitter went nuts. Twitter went absolutely nuts. The Skins pull away from the Niners late and win one. The Cardinals beat the Buccaneers. What is going on with this Buccaneers team? What is happening? I mean, I had them at 10 wins. They're 2-3. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with their team, but it's not looking good. You don't lose to the Cardinals. You have Adrian Peterson on that team now who runs for over 100 yards and said, listen, I'm not done yet. But now I am looking at the NFC. Who am I supposed to be afraid of? The Rams? Seattle? No and no. Carolina? No. Minnesota? No. Green Bay with no Aaron Rodgers? I mean, no one in our division? I'm not afraid of anyone. The Chiefs go down. They're 5-1 now. They're tied with the Eagles for the best record in the NFL. The Steelers go in there in Kansas City and they do their thing. After a lot of controversy on the sidelines, Le'Veon Bell has a game. He finally starts running the ball. He actually torched them. 179 yards on 32 carries and a touchdown. 179 yards. And then you have the Giants, who go into Denver 0-5 on Sunday night and beat the Broncos. Am I going to be afraid of the Broncos now when we play them? I mean, it's only been one game in the NFL's week to week, and I know that. It's just awesome to be able to be this confident in my football team. Because in years past, in the recent years, I have not been able to do that. So let me have my fun. And then the Titans beat the Colts in a Monday night game. That was okay. It wasn't absolutely boring, but it wasn't investing either. So that's where we are in the sports world here. We have a big Sixers game tonight. We got the Flyers tomorrow night. We have the Birds who play a Monday night football game this upcoming week, which I like that way better than the Thursday game. I prefer them playing on Sunday, though, because that's my enjoyment. But at the same time, now this Sunday, I get to kick back, relax, just watch football all day long, enjoy Red Zone for the 1 o'clock hour, really invest into that. Kick back on Sunday, and then bam, Monday night, you got your team on. I definitely do like that more than the Thursday games. But hey, that's more rest for the good guys. I can't be mad about it. We're in a good position here with the Philadelphia sports teams. If the Flyers continue to play the way they do, I can see them making playoffs this year. If the Eagles don't make playoffs now, there is a serious problem, and there is a lot of other problems going on. Seriously, if you're 5-1, you don't make playoffs. I don't even want to go there. I do not even want to go there. Look at the mood change. Did you hear that mood change? All right. We're done. We're done here. We're going to end it here. No, I lied. I can't go off and end this on the Eagles possibly not making the playoffs. So let's start this back over. So where we are in Philadelphia, the Flyers look great. If they continue to play the way that they have, I can see playoffs in our future, and the Eagles are going to be winning the NFC. Because we're not afraid of anybody anymore. We have a team that can absolutely do it. And I have pride. And I know we can. I have faith in Carson Wentz to get this done. Yesterday in class, my professor was talking about Tom Brady. He was like, everyone knows Tom Brady, right? The greatest of all time. And I just yell out, Carson Wentz. Everyone starts laughing. Why are you laughing? This isn't a joke. Carson Wentz. Now, I will end this episode. Thank you for listening. It's been great to finally hop on, being 5 days out. You can follow me on Twitter at sportsandbrodes to find out when new stuff is going to be dropped. You can call into the show using your voice recording apps on your phone. Send it to sportsandbrodes@gmail.com. And yeah, you'll be featured on here. Going back to the Twitter thing, that's where you will find where I upload new YouTube videos. Me and my roommate, who is a film major, have started like a mini-series kind of thing. We're kind of playing it out. We have one episode out there. You can find that on the Twitter page. It's actually very funny, great quality, and yeah, it's about sports talk with Brodes. So I will be back soon. Thank you guys for listening, and have a great day.